to do this episode of the Game Rescue Show. I'm your host, Jesse. Today we have Mr. Mike Spielman. How are you today?
I love Anthem, everybody.
You're when in Zencaster, your screen name is number one Anthem fan.
Number one, baby. Number one. There's one of one, baby. One of one.
Yeah, here we are. This has been talked about. We have been mulling this one over for how many months now? Like 3 months, something like that.
It's been 3 months. Yeah, it's definitely been a bit.
Because it's one of those games where we're like, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. We kick it down the road because we just don't want to talk about it because there's not enough to really talk about.
Seasonal depression makes us not want to talk about this fucking game.
We're off season right now from every episode, so I was just kind of like, look, let's just knock this thing out. I'm just tired of seeing it on the goddamn docket. I'm sick of seeing it. Let's just do it.
Tired of avoiding it.
And I was just like, I kept seeing it in my PlayStation lineup of games, and I was just kind of like, you know what, just fucking get out of here, you're deleted. I just couldn't take it anymore, so I was like, fuck it, we're doing the episode. I just want to get this done. Like Seth was, we offered this to Seth so many times, and he was just like, I don't want to play that.
I'm like,
so it's just me and Mike tonight. Yeah, the game is cheap as dirt. They were selling this thing at GameStops for a fucking single cent. They were like chucking it out the door. Like, get rid of it.
We've got 200 copies of Anthem. Take multiple ones.
Oh, this game. Oh, God. Okay, so number one question. How do you make Iron Man boring?
By being owned by a company named Electronic Arts who doesn't let you actually finish making games.
Yep. Sounds about right. Yeah, so this is an EA game. EA is constantly on the list of the worst companies to work for in the world. Not just like in gaming, like in the world. They don't pay their staff properly. They give them forced overtime. They don't compensate them with time off. They are on a constant grind. It's constant crunch the whole time. They're a terrible company to work for, and this game is proof positive of how you can run an entire gaming company into the pavement. Because they really, really railed on this production company. They really hurt these guys bad.
I before this game came out, I think that we were at the height of BioWare. And BioWare hasn't really been the same. I mean, they had, BioWare released Anthem, Mass Effect Andromeda, which isn't as bad as everyone gives it.
It's not terrible. It's just kind of bland.
And it's also very buggy. And then the only good thing they've done, Dragon Age Inquisition. And so I feel bad, especially after all the stories came out about how this game was not done. And that's not shocking. It's definitely probably the second least complete game I've ever played.
What's the most incomplete?
Sea of Thieves. If you can look at me and boldface tell me that is a complete product, you are a fucking liar. There are systems missing in that game. There are also systems missing in this game. And it shows because just like with Sea of Thieves, there's a lot of blandness. There's a lot of boredom. And you just don't want to fucking play it. I paid full price for Anthem.
You paid $60 for this?
$60, baby. Because
oh my God. How ripped off did you feel?
It was pretty bad. I was trying to get the platinum in this game, and I was close to dying. Dying internally. Like I might have, a part of my soul I think died when I was like, when I finally realized the grind it would take for me to actually do that, I went, I think I'm done. I think I'm done. But I have beaten this game. I have beaten Anthem multiple times.
Well, the story is like so short that you can blow through it. Maybe like what, total of 8 hours, 10 hours, something like that?
How dare you say that this plot is bad or short? Yeah, plot. Thank you for getting the joke because they're
Let's get
fucking.
the big air quotes out there. This plot.
Listen, I read the plot that's on Wikipedia
Oh yeah, it's
before
so
this,
stupid.
and I
It's so
went,
stupid.
I don't remember any of this. Also, none of this makes any sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about right, and that's a.
Yeah, it's. I did not finish this game. I think I made it. I think I was about 3 or 4 hours in, and I think I got to the point where you had to do like multiple missions to move on to. It's like you have to go to these different dungeons, and you have to.
Yes.
And I was kind of like at a point where it's like, okay, the grind is settling in, and I was so over it at that point. Like for the first like hour, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. This is not bad. I like this, and then it starts to settle in. Like there's nothing in this world. It is so empty and barren, and it's supposed to be a big world filled with people everywhere. There's, I think, in one playthrough, the most amount of people I saw was maybe like 6 people. Like this game is dead. There's barely anybody playing this thing anymore.
What?
And that's the casualty of releasing a game that's, 1, not done, and 2, is not that fun. Like I made this note recently. Like the game is completely functional, but that does not make it fun.
No, it's
just because the word fun is in functional does not make it fun. A lawnmower is functional. An air fryer is functional. It does not make them fun to use.
Put that on the t-shirt, boys.
Fun does not equal functional does not equal fun.
But it's in the title. No! Shut up! Not the same.
Oh God, it's not the same.
I did give Jesse homework just so he could understand how what the expectation was for Anthem, and that is with Warframe. That was
Yes, I did play Warframe.
It
is quite good.
Yeah, that's what Anthem should have been. The exosuits
Yes.
all should have felt super unique to the point like Warframes was, where
and fast.
Like you are a fucking space ninja in Warframe. You feel like a space ninja in fucking Warframe.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like the biggest problem with Anthem is so goddamn slow.
And all the guns are so fucking boring.
Yeah, and also like you can give like upgrades to your suit that you fly around in. What are they called? Javelins? That's what they're called.
Javelins, yep.
Yeah, like terrible name for a suit.
How could you?
Not make any sense. A javelin to me sounds like something you like impale into the wall. Like, does that mean I'm meant to fly into the wall? Like, it's whatever.
There is an explanation as to why they're called javelins, and
I could care less. I don't even give a shit. So, anyways, the biggest problem with Anthem is that your character moves so slowly. You can upgrade like your suit components to make your armor stronger, make your shields better, give yourself some more abilities and elemental buffs, but you can't make your rockets faster. You can't get faster. Just always moving slow, no matter what you do.
Well, when it's not a complete game.
Yeah. Like, oh God,
it's not complete at all.
Like, yeah, the game's not done. This was chucked out the door because they said was it released early because the CEOs wanted bonuses or something like that? I can't remember what it was.
It wasn't the CEOs of BioWare. It was EA CEO, the piece of shit known as Andrew Wilson, who thought that if he rushed this game out the door, that it would sell enough that he would get a bigger bonus. So it's the scumbag CEO, Andrew Wilson, who arguably might go down as the second worst CEO in gaming of all time. I do think that Phil Spencer will probably take that number one spot because holy shit is he bad at that too.
Yeah.
But it's... Yeah, I mean, BioWare kept telling him, look, we need another 2 years before this thing is done. We're trying to...
And this game had been in development for a long time.
2014, I think 2012 was when it started. Right after Mass Effect 3, they started working on this thing. So they were they were working on this thing for a while.
Yeah.
But they just didn't want
Speaking of Cyberpunk, I want to go back into the element of how it doesn't live up to expectations despite a long gestation process. It's the same exact problems as Cyberpunk, like a massive development time, and yet they crunched in the last like 2 years. It's like,
Well,
what were you doing?
the biggest issue with Cyberpunk is mismanagement, like
Oh
complete
yeah,
mismanagement
absolutely.
on the development side. I don't see the development of Anthem. If you listen to the people that were there, it was Casey Hudson who was doing it, who
Yeah,
was the executive producer of the Mass Effect trilogy, knew how to do this, and they were taking their time. They knew essentially early on the biggest problem was there's a fuck ton to this. We need to take our time. I don't think Frostbite can handle this. Shocker.
yeah. Using this game engine was not a good idea. It's not
Um,
designed for this. It is
no,
not designed for this.
they were so worried, and they kept voicing their concerns to EA, and EA did exactly what EA does: nothing. They told
Yeah,
them to use it. Um, it was just so awful because you know, the EA management. You know, you've got Patrick Soderlund and you've got fucking dickhead Andrew, who were essentially forcing their studios to use Frostbite because they put all this money into it, and so they were trying to get their money out of it. And Frostbite was just a giant piece of shit. Like the first time that they put FIFA on that thing, woo boy, was it bad. And it's just awful. It's not a good engine. Like
yeah.
EA, look
Well,
at me.
it's a good engine when it's used for the appropriate
Look at
game.
me. Look at me, EA. Okay? Your engine, Frostbite, is so shit that I would rather take Square's first engine, which is the Luminous engine, and use that still. That engine is older than yours, but it's more functional than yours. That's not a compliment. Stop trying to force Frostbite down people's throats. It sucks. It's not good. Characters look ugly. The customization in it is bad. I know of multiple people who are designers and they fucking hate Frostbite. You want to know why Unity is so big? Because their support is good. Period. Spoilers. Frostbite sucks, and I mean it showed. This game was probably the big death knell for Frostbite in my eyes.
Yeah.
As it should. God, that's the only
Is anything?
positive.
I don't think anything else is using this engine anymore, as far as I'm aware.
I think they changed it or some stupid fucking thing that pisses me off that I'm trying to find out about.
I think the Battlefield games still use them because it's good for destructible environments. But I
Well,
think that's about it.
it's still around.
Great.
It is still this exact fucking engine. Frostbite 3 is still being fucking used. Like Battlefield 2042 used this fucking engine.
Yep, there it is.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah, EA Sports UFC has used it. NHL, EA, Madden, and we wonder, oh my god, that's the engine they used for Dead Space. That's probably the last time that thing looked good. But like
The most recent Dead Space?
yep, the Dead Space remake had it.
Well, there you go. That's one example where it's good. You know, it like I said, it depends on the game that you're using it for. It's like I think if you want like highly detailed environments, that's the place to use it. But in a game that's a looter shooter, you don't need that because you're not going to be looking at it.
Yeah,
Like you want to go
yeah.
quick, you want to move fast.
When
Like
you're doing a lot of assets, that's the biggest thing I've heard about Frostbite
yeah,
is if there is a lot of assets, it can't handle too much asset management at one
yeah,
time. Like
yeah.
if you really pay attention to the crowds in a lot of those games, the
Oh
assets
yeah,
are essentially the same 7 or 8, or they're
yeah.
just so
Same character models,
yeah.
slightly different face.
It's
Yeah,
just very half-assed.
yeah.
And honestly, of all the big
It's very
engines,
stale. It's very
very
stale looking.
boring. Everything
Yeah.
looks terrible in it. They really need to either make a new version of Frostbite, okay, or
Well, I think the big push right now is Unreal 5. Unreal 5 is the next big push.
Unreal 5 is really good. Unreal 5 is probably gonna be fine. I mean, the big engines are obviously gonna be Unity,
Oh
and
yeah.
Frostbite, and then of course, then you get companies like Square who have their own engines that they like to use.
Yeah.
But they've also been using Unreal Engine 5 for a few things, and
Right.
it's part of the problem with this game is Anthem just Anthem did not. If Anthem was made by BioWare and EA was not the one over BioWare. I bet you the game is incredible.
Yeah. The big reason why this game exists in the first place is I have to compare it to this Destiny. Destiny came out, and we can all say, "Hey, that didn't live up to expectations." Everyone, Bungie was pushing that, be like, "It's going to be the greatest game ever made." It wasn't. It wasn't. It's a looter shooter. It's a very standard looter shooter with very bland, stale, boring storytelling, very simplistic dialogue. It's almost like if you could plug into Chat GBT sci-fi story, Destiny pops out the other end. That's it. It is so bland.
So
And then you just look at Anthem, and it's like, oh, they took the same game but made it third person and just changed words.
I
It's generally the same story, generally the same gameplay. Even the menus are generally the same. It's a clone game in many ways. It tried to be its own thing by giving it third person, and you get to fly around, but it doesn't. They didn't do anything with it. For anybody watching, we had a slight glitch in that both our internets died at the exact same time. This game is cursed.
it's Anthem.
This game is absolutely cursed. So sorry to Seth for having to put this video together, but yeah, this is the reason I wanted to get this game off the goddamn docket, because this game was crashing PS4s
Yeah.
when it came out. It's apparently crashing our internet trying to get this fucking thing recorded.
It does not want to be talked about in any way, shape, and form.
Oh god, I think a gypsy must have cursed this thing somewhere in the woods, and it's just like infecting everybody's brains. This is the worst.
It is a horrendous game. It's very disjointed too. That's the other big problem I have with it is,
Yeah.
you'll go from all right, I'm in first person in this city, that seems kind of cool. I actually kind of like
Oh,
that.
that shit's so
I
boring.
actually kind of liked the design of the city. It's just there was no point to fucking be in the city.
It could be menus and it wouldn't change anything. It's
Exactly.
there to give the impression of civilization, but there's no real life.
There's
Nothing's moving around.
Everything's just
It's
kind
just,
of it's like somebody took a 1995 video game and made it in 3D. It's just boring.
it felt like what was that game? Myst? Remember that game?
Yeah, I hate fucking Myst. And if you're one of those people who
Yeah.
likes Myst, you need to go play actual video games for once in your life, you fucking psycho. Jesus.
Just play an actual puzzle game,
Yeah,
dude,
play
instead
an
of something that's
actual
gonna
game. Go play The Witness, you nerd.
yeah, instead of something that's gonna break your goddamn brain.
God. But like you come back into the city in first person to talk to somebody, to go through a cutscene, then you're going back to the pilot area, then you're going to go into a menu system where you're going to then customize stuff. Wait, no, you can't customize in that menu. They added that on in an update later. When it first launched, you had to be in another menu before you could go out, and then you would customize, and then you could put that you're going to go out on this mission, and then you would go out on the mission. It was so disjointed. You had to go back to get your next mission, then go on to the next one. Nothing felt seamless. That's how you know the game wasn't finished, because there was just they had to just be like, yeah, just fucking put this in there or whatever. Who fucking cares? It's awful.
Okay, so for everybody out there that's a game designer, ubiquitous user interface. This shit should be lightning fucking fast. I do not want to sit through fucking 10 menus just to get my mission, upgrade my suit, and go back to playing the game, because the actual game part, you already have a fuck ton of loading screens that are way too long to sit through. And then I have to deal with this fucking city shit, which is slow and boring.
Yeah. It's a rough game to play. It's a rough game to even enjoy. The guns are generic and bland. The suits were the javelins themselves. Some of the things were cool.
Some of the elemental powers are kind of cool, but that ultimately makes the game incredibly easy. Like, there is no challenge to this game. Like, you will blast through this so fast.
Oh, they patched that? Because when it launched, it had a lot of problems with irrational spikes in difficulty.
Yeah.
Like, bosses would just...
Well, I didn't get that far, so I never encountered anything that was challenging.
It's bad. The final fight specifically was very broken, and also the final fight of this game uh, didn't feel like a final fight. It felt like the end of Act Two of a 4-act fucking play. Like
Yeah.
it's just not. It's not finished. Like it's
Yeah. I
just
watched the cutscene and I was like, that's the bad guy? What? Okay. Number one, I saw it coming. Number two, what?
yeah, made no sense. That's not how this should have ended. It's real bad. It's
Yeah.
fucking awful. Um, and
Because the game, it gives you the impression your character is an actual character in the world,
Yeah.
but you're not.
you're not.
Yeah, like it's not like Destiny where you get to create your own character from the ground up. This is like you're meant to play a character, but you don't really have a personality, and it's all in first person when you're in the city. So you're not really playing a role.
But hey, they got Neil Blomkamp to do a live action trailer for it, right?
Oh, yay.
That means it's great.
Yeah. Gran Turismo now available on Prime.
Oh no, it's on Netflix.
Who gives a shit?
The fact that I
Oh,
made that
God.
correction. Excuse me, sir, but this movie is on Netflix. How dare you?
Fucking Christ.
Our corporate overlords at Netflix would like you to know that they love the movie Gran Turismo.
I heard it was fine. I don't know. I just had no interest in seeing it.
Hey, you know, if I was making a movie based off of a video game that is strictly about racing, if I had a way to make it based off of a true story, I'd do the same fucking thing too. Because I sure as shit wouldn't make a fucking movie about fucking a generic racing simulation game. Anything but that. Please, Microsoft, don't fucking ruin another one of your shitty IPs by making a Forza movie. You can barely do anything right now to begin with, as you just laid off 1,900 people at Activision, aka a company you shouldn't have bought, aka the only reason why you bought is because you're getting your ass spanked so bad by Nintendo and Sony, aka you don't know how to fucking run anything in the games business. Stop. Don't do it.
By the way, they just recently announced they're now a $3 billion company.
Hey.
Oh, we have to lay people off. Hey, look at that, you cocksuckers.
Gotta get Phil Spencer that corporate bonus, that fucking corporate shill that he is. Just because he dresses like you doesn't mean he is you guys. Spoiler alert. He's still a corporate shill who's been lying to you fucks for years. What has he done for you?
Yeah.
He's bought people and made people not excited for other games. Starfield ruined Elder Scrolls 6. Fuck off. Back to Anthem, a game I actually liked.
Even though we just been shitting on it for the last 20 minutes.
Listen, there is the shooting aspect of Anthem.
It's like we said, it's functional.
It's functional, and the concept of the suits itself is a great idea. Clearly not done, and some of the designs of those suits look cool, and I like some of the extras that you could do, the customizations of the suits.
Yeah,
looked cool.
It's more customization than Destiny had.
Well, Destiny also makes you pay for any customization outside.
Yeah,
hey,
that's
also,
another thing.
Technically, we just talked about Destiny, and I think Bungie just took money out of our accounts. Because
oh, we got to pay them more. Yeah, I remember like looking into like how much it would take to get into Destiny now that they're going into their last expansion for Destiny 2. If you were to get every single expansion pack, I think it could be like $480 or something like that, just to get up to the point where you get to the final. What is it called? The final shape, whatever the hell the name is. But yeah, that is money fleecing.
Listen, Seth,
that is a scam.
Seth, don't make a video out of this, okay? But I have spent
get it out of your system.
Destiny is an abusive relationship. I gave that first game way too much money. AKA I bought every expansion.
You fucking shill.
Then the second one they're not gonna hurt me again. But I really like the base game.
Surprise. It's like being in an abusive relationship with a fucking ex-husband and you keep going back for more to get the shit beaten out of you.
What's wrong with me? Why do I do this to
God.
myself? Why do I hate me? What about me? Why do I hate it so much that I'm like, you know what I'm going to waste my money on? Destiny. But you know what? You know what? 2018, Michael, he said enough. And I haven't
Yeah.
played Destiny since like something I don't remember. When's Forspoken? That was the last one I played.
It was 20. I think it was 2021.
I was done. I didn't even
Yeah.
pay for Forspoken. It was something that they were doing with Xbox, and I played it on Game Pass or some bullshit. And I went, "This is cool. Hey, does anybody want to play with me?" Crickets. And I went, "All right, fuck this game." And then
Yeah.
haven't come back since. You know what,
hmm
Destiny? At least the Division gives me good content. It
Yeah.
doesn't put dungeons behind a separate paywall than the expansion.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Anyway, back to
Going
you.
back to Warframe,
Oh,
Warframe is free to play.
yeah, you guys gotta play
Everything is
Warframe.
open right from the get
You
go.
gotta play
The
Warframe.
only thing you have to pay for is some expansions for some gear, open some more inventory slots, and some designs for your outfit. That's it.
Yeah,
It
if you want, you can just straight up be like, "Oh, I want this Prime suit." Like you can get one of the
yeah.
frames if you
You can
want.
pay like I think it's like $5
Yep.
and you get like a new suit. It's like, yeah, so
Some of
what?
them are
That's
dope.
fine. But they're not locking the game behind a paywall. Anthem did it and Destiny did it. They locked away gameplay behind paywalls. That is a fucking scam.
Well, Anthem
That is bullshit.
so Anthem didn't lock anything behind a paywall.
Thought they
Unless
did.
unless unless that paywall is EA just didn't let them make the content.
Oh yeah, weren't they supposed to do like an expand? They were supposed to rework the whole game and then they canceled it.
Yeah, they were supposed to do essentially, I think they called it like Anthem 2.0.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically reworked the whole game from the ground up, and then they said, "Nah, we're gonna cut our losses and run."
Yeah, BioWare apparently they were the way that they looked at it and the way that they compared it was going to be on the level of Final Fantasy 14. Because when Final Fantasy 14 launched in 2010, it was god awful. And then they were like, we can't fucking keep doing this. And then a savior named Yoshi P came down and said, you know, I can make this great. And 2013's revised version literally first off, Final Fantasy 14 is one of the greatest games of every time, and you should play that game. The expansions up to Heaven's Ward are free right now, and you should totally play up to level 70 right now for free. You're welcome. But essentially, he used the failure of the original Final Fantasy 14. Like if you go back, you can find videos of the servers ending in Final Fantasy 14, the original, and it is Bahamut destroying the world. And so that is the story of Realm Reborn. It is the sixth era of that same world, and the one before it was the fifth one, and it is following the failure of that one, and you're trying to prevent that from happening again. He literally used the original concept, the original game, and its failure in the fucking story of Final Fantasy 14. That's how good that game is. And so they were gonna do something like we're gonna fucking rework the shit out of this thing, and we're gonna do it just like Final Fantasy 14 because they they didn't give up, and we can't give up. And then EA said you're gonna give up actually,
Yeah,
and yeah,
because they wanted to fix this. They wanted to go back and fix this thing.
they did. Yep.
Well, since we're here and it's called Game Rescue, let's fix it. So, what's number one that we want to do? Number one, get rid of Frostbite. Just get rid of this fucking engine. Put in. I would go back to like Unreal 4.
Unreal
Just
4.
like put in an engine that we know is functional, has destructibility to it. I don't need light blooming every fucking way. Like too many particle effects. There are moments in the fights where there's so much shit happening on the screen that I'm just like, I don't even know where my character is.
It's like J.J. Abrams and Michael Bay had a baby.
Oh
I
god.
hate that baby so much. Okay, J.J. Bay, fuck off. Okay, it's fucking terrible. Okay, I hated that. No, the biggest thing that I was thinking about was I wanted it to be more of Avatar-ish. And by Avatar-ish, I mean let's just humanity is expanding. We found this planet. We've come here, and we're going to discover its mysteries. I would have loved for that to have been what the story was. The javelins are the suits
Yeah.
that we use to explore because we don't trust the planet at this time, and we're going to use that so we think it's hazardous. And so it's kind of us conquering. but we're also discovering this weird, crazy mystery that is deep within it. And you can even make the character like some prophesized thing that was coming. But that's like the biggest thing story wise that I would have changed, because the story makes no fucking sense in its current thing.
Yeah.
The main villain's called Monitor. Wow, what the fuck? That is definitely someone went, I don't know, what are we gonna call it? Monitor. And they looked at their fucking computer monitor and that's what they fucking called it.
Yeah.
Like it's
Well, I think that's a reference to Bungie with Destiny, because you have Halo, and was it 343 Guilty Spark? He is the monitor of the
oh my
Halo
god, I
ring.
hate this so much.
So that's 6 degrees separation.
Shut up,
Back
nerd.
to that. Sorry. Hey, I'm just reporting what I'm noticing.
Why don't you go read another Halo book, nerd?
Hey, some of them are okay.
I love that. Hey, some of those are just fine. Go fuck yourself.
I haven't read one in about like 20 years.
Oh man, that's great. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's how I would approach it. Is like, we're establishing ourselves on this planet, and the planet itself is part of the plot. So we're trying to actually more understand this planet as we're going there. It's all new to us. We don't have all this extra stupid lingo that's not good, like Heart of Rage. Wow, great name, guys. Or Dawn on the or Shield of Dawn. Wow, great fucking name again, guys. We're doing real great with these fucking names.
Shield
Dominion.
of Dawn. Is that a reference to Hammer of Dawn
Oh,
from Gears of War?
probably. Who fucking knows? This game
I don't
screams
know.
EA. It's fucking so bad. Like, and you could still have things like Dominion being there. You could have like an anti, a group of rebellion, because we're fucking conquering this planet, and the locals don't like it. And you could either go down the Avatar path and have your character see what's wrong, or you can have your character want a better version of both, or he's just fascinated with it. I don't care. But the story that you have given us has no sense to it whatsoever. He's just a rookie, a freelance fucking rookie, going out there to fucking fight, and then he finds a psychic. What the fuck is
Yep.
happening? First off, whoever made this story, please call me and give me the name of your weed provider or your drug giver, because I would like to try it, and then I'm going to write a book. A Halo book, I think, is actually what I'm going to do, because it sounds like I could probably make a pretty good Halo book, and I'd probably make lots of money. So I'll probably make a book about Halo. And you know what, Master Chief? He's taking his helmet off. None.
God damn it.
Hear that, Pablo? Hey, he's not taking it off. Keeping it.
Can't wait for season 2.
I love reading quotes about that season already, and the actor playing Master Chief saying, "Well, I can't act with a helmet on." Yeah, have you played?
Carl Urban can tell you otherwise,
But
motherfucker.
have you played Halo? Master Chief is the most boring fucking piece of shit, bland motherfucker on the planet.
He's not a character.
He's not a character. He's not. He's supposed to be boring. That's why when I hear people say, "You know who my favorite character is? Master Chief," I look at them and say, "You don't read, do you?" And I don't. Well, first off, I know they don't read. They think Halo's a good fucking franchise, and then they go, "What's reading?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that makes sense. You have no idea what characters are."
Yeah.
Guys,
Speaking of characters,
Stop it.
Speaking of characters, do we want to actually have our player character an actual character, or should it be somebody that we build from the ground up?
Listen, as long as Ray Chase is still voicing the fucking male version of this character, I don't give a fuck what we do. I don't care if it's fully customizable. Don't care. Ray Chase was the male voice, and I believe it was Sarah Elmaleh. I think it was her last name. I think she did it. Oh my fucking god, I got that right. I'm great at this. Yeah, Sarah Elmaleh. She was the female voice of it. Fucking incredible. I'm keeping them both. I don't give a absolute shit what we do with that. As long as she's still in it, I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. I'll be fine. She that was like supposed to be one of her first like big ones. Like she was Katie Greenbrier in Gone Home. That's like the biggest thing I can think that people might know her voice from. She's Lizzie
Yeah.
Carmine in Gears 5. She's Corsica in Hi-Fi Rush. Like she doesn't get as many voice roles as she absolutely fucking deserves. Um,
Yeah.
and she is fantastic in that role, and it sucks because Anthem definitely felt like that would have been the game if it would have been good that sparked her fucking career into a new level, and
Yeah.
she deserved it, and she didn't
I
get it.
agree.
But that's okay because you know whose career did not get affected by this fucking game? Uh,
Oh,
Ray fucking goddamn Chase. Good fucking god. Don't go to his Wikipedia because it might crash your fucking computer because there's so much fucking on here. The guy is a unit. Also, he's got one of the best English voices out there. But no, I mean, but you don't. It depends on how we're doing it. I think if I keep it, I think I'm taking out the first person. I'm taking out the fucking first person completely, taking it out.
yes.
It's all third
I agree.
person, and then create a character sounds like a great idea for me. You know,
Yeah.
that's the way I'm treating it. Oh, and for anybody who doesn't
Mhm.
know who Ray Chase is, there's a reason why the dub version of Jujutsu Kaisen is looked at so great. I want you to look up Ryuman Sukana's dub voice. That's Ray Chase, bitch. That's how that fucking voice should sound. I'm coming for everybody tonight, okay? I'm coming for people who want to attack one of the best games ever in Anthem. I'm coming for you fucking sub snobs who think that sub anime is better. You don't know the language! How do you know it's better? Fuck off! Oh, it just sounds better. You don't know Japanese, cocksucker. Fuck off.
I'm gonna have fun editing this
Yeah,
one.
you are. There's gonna be a lot of beeps.
Oh goddamn.
But yeah, I think just make it kind of exploratory. Like if you get
A
to
big open world. A big open world to run around
yeah, if
in, not
you
restricted.
so like there are parts of Warframe, back to Warframe, where there are open world sections in
Yeah.
Warframe,
Yeah.
Warframe, where you're just kind of exploring and trying to figure out what the fuck's going on here and why the main bad guys are here. Why are they here? And that's it. That's it. That's all this fucking game needs is it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be super complicated. You don't have to be act like you're the smartest person in the room. Just giving a story that is kind of like that apparently that Avatar game that came out is kind of in that level where you're just engulfed in Pandora, and that is
Mhm.
like the best part of it. Something like that where you're just surrounded by this beauty and this gorgeousness. You take from putting all this effort into, I don't know what the fuck they put the effort into this game because it's not done. And you make a gorgeous, beautiful world that just makes you want to explore it. Like I need to go see what's over here, you know? Think of it like a Souls game or Elden Ring. You want to see what's next. You want to see, so that grind to see what's next is what you're after. And I think you could have made an interesting game based upon exploring, growing, and evolving. And having the ability to do scans of the environment, looking for resources, resource management, helping grow the new settlement, do settlement management,
Yeah.
having them set up new settlements as you get further out. Like just different little things that have a gameplay loop to it. And it's like you
What if the dungeons were things you just find, not like marked
yeah,
on the map, but like, oh, you come across it, like, oh yeah, I can go explore this, and
and
it leads you into like a mini boss or something
and
like that. Like,
each
as
each
opposed to it being a requirement for the game to continue with its
and
story.
you can kind of do it in a way where there's lore in there, so you're finding out more about this world that you are now on. You're finding out more about the overarching story in a way, like the prophecy around you. You can find that like every dungeon has a little bit of aspects that just make you better and just make you
Yeah.
understand what you're doing here more. Instead, they force feed the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Just the weirdest thing ever.
Also, I hate the fact that a lot of the lore is done in like text scrolls
Oh man, you don't like
that
reading that much? Oh
oh
god.
my god, that shit I hate that shit.
Ugh.
Destiny did it the same thing, and they actually did it worse in that you had to go onto the website and read it there. It wasn't even in the game.
Wasn't even that game.
It's like that is bullshit.
Very
Like
bad.
put this shit in the game.
It's a bad game.
Because a lot of those scrolls describe like major conflicts and battles, and like, why am I not playing that? Like, why is that not the game?
It kind of reminded me of Star Ocean 5, Integrity and Faithlessness, where you could tell that game was made cheap because the game opens up with a giant space battle that you don't see at all. It's being narrated to you or talked to you about from the characters on the ship. You're like,
Uh,
that's what that reminds me of every time is the start of Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness, where you're in the middle of a fucking space battle at the beginning of the game, and they're not showing you a single fucking frame outside of this goddamn ship.
God damn it. The way you're supposed to do it, if you're gonna say that all this stuff is happening in the background of this universe, then you should have a way to play through it in some way. Like in the one of the expansion packs for Fallout 3 was what was it, Operation Anchorage,
Yeah.
where you got to go and fight in Alaska
Mhm.
during the Russian invasion of Alaska.
Love that.
You get into like a memory machine, and you get to play through the eyes of a person that was at that battle. Like, that's great. Like, I love that. That's brilliant. Like, that's the way you do it. You want to see this fight because they keep referencing it in Fallout 3. Like, well,
Yeah.
when did this happen? What was going on? And then you get to play through, and it's like, oh, that's what they were talking about. Like, that's the way to do it. If you're gonna put all this extra lore in the game, let me play through it, or at least give me an interesting looking cutscene to see it. I don't want to read this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
But how about you put your story in the actual game and not aside from the game?
yeah. Yeah.
What a mess. It's the things that happen when you run out of time to do cutscenes and put it in gameplay. It's the things that happen. You just put it in text scroll. That's it. Just put it in scrolls, put it in hidden collectibles, just dump everything in the background. It's like it's what happens when you run out of time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't.
And finding that stuff in the city isn't fun. Because you mostly find that stuff in the cities and it's not fun.
It's just kind of you. There's like 7 different places where the stuff is going to appear after certain chapters happen,
Yeah.
and that's where you know it's going to be, and you just find it
Keep doing it.
and do it again, and come back and you do it again, and it's real bad. It's a shame too. Because I think the bones of Anthem could have been something actually worth doing and
Yeah.
worth playing. And
There's a good game buried in this mess somewhere. Buried in there.
there's a good game in there somewhere, and
Yeah.
we'll never know because unfortunately BioWare has moved
Support.
on.
Yeah. Support has been shut down.
2021 that stopped. BioWare has moved on. They're working on the never coming out Dragon Age Dreadwolf.
Yeah.
If that game comes
And what
out, I'll cry.
and what sucks is that it's going to go the way of like all those other online service games. There's no single player really. So the moment the servers get shut down, it's it. It's gone totally forever.
Yep. Yeah, which
I mean, with something like Destiny, you can still play a single player campaign of that.
Why would you want
Or
to?
War. No, I'm not saying you want to, but it is there as an option.
Warframe? I
But something
play by
like this,
myself all the time.
but something like this that requires online all the time, like these kinds of games, service only games, like you have to have a single player in there. You got to have that option. Remember that game Warhawk for the PS3? Remember that from years ago?
I didn't play that game. I played. Well, they had a sequel for it. Wasn't there like a Starhawk? Right.
Starhawk, yeah, which puts in a crappy single player, but Warhawk, it was fun as a multiplayer game. They were supposed to have a single player, and they canceled it because they said, "Oh, it's not good enough." But now the servers for Warhawk have been shut down, so it's a completely dead game. You can't play it
no,
anymore.
all those fucking people who still think that 2010 was a good year and they're only playing fucking PS3 games still, and they cry and they cry and they cry because I can't play my PS3 games anymore. Guys, we're 2 generations fucking removed from it. Move the fuck on, okay?
Yeah.
Play new games. It's getting concerning. I'm worried.
But I'm
and-
saying that a single player option should still be available. Like you have to have that. You've got to have a single player option available.
I
Something.
mean, I see you have too many friends. I played Anthem.
Yes, because I leave my house, Mike.
What? You had to leave your house? Oh, fuck that. I'm not leaving my house. Fuck that. This place is cool. And fuck here. Like, what? Oh, fuck you. I'm not leaving.
Jesus Christ. What else did we fix? Oh, number one, another fix. Oh, the menus. Please, for God's sake, fix the fucking
Seamless
menus. I
menu
hate that
system.
shit.
I'm making a Borderlands-esque weapon system.
Yes, please.
I'm gonna.
As much as I don't like the Borderlands games, I actually will say that their menu options are quite good.
I'm gonna make a Borderlands choice for menus and their procedurally generated weapons. That's how I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna put a lot of cool weapons. I'm gonna put a lot of upgrades to the javelin itself. I'm gonna make weapons exclusive to certain javelins. I'm going to give the big tank javelin a cool sword, and pay homage to Gundam because I have to. One of the javelins is going to be like an Egyptian god from Gods of Egypt. Absolutely white.
God damn it!
It's gonna be white. Duh.
Jesus Christ.
Egyptians were white. We all knew this, right? Right.
Greatest movie of all time.
And Scottish. And British. So we all knew this. So it's probably gonna have a British accent. I don't know. Like you get in the suit and it's like, oh hello, and you're like, oh my god, this is Egyptian. And you're like, yes, so Egyptian. And you're like, oh, is Egyptian speak British accent? And it's like, oi crikey, and you're like, all right, that's not British, but okay. And that's one of the suits, and we're gonna call it Zatu or something. I don't know. Boom, done. I just fixed this game. Like, you're welcome, everybody. I'm gonna put PvP in, so that way I can get all the fucking shitty ass bros who only play PvP shit. Like, I found out that there's a bunch of people who still play Destiny's multiplayer PvP, which is terrible. That's impressive that you people still think that that's fun and entertaining. Like, I'd rather play Warzone.
Like I said, there's a difference between fun and functional.
There's a difference.
Game can be functional, doesn't make it fun.
There's a difference between fun and making money. And making money makes more money than fun.
Yeah.
Fuck you, EA. Fuck you, Activision. Fuck you, Microsoft. And you know what? Just because you guys are little minges, fuck you, Nintendo. And
leave Power World alone, damn it!
Fucking tell me after Power World. You know, today Sony had a chance to be a real prick, and they didn't. They just told the people who were making a kart racer that was Bloodborne to not say Bloodborne anywhere in it, and they're like, "All right, cool." They didn't sue didn't sue a mod maker into oblivion again because Nintendo's done that multiple times.
Yeah.
Sony's shitty for their own ways. You guys have PlayStation Portal? I do. Why the fuck did I spend $200 on this goddamn thing?
You make really terrible life decisions, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, don't have kids either. That's another terrible life decision that I made.
God damn it. You did it 3 times, so that's all on you, dude.
Listen, that means, hey, but at least now I can say I have proof that I have had sex at least 3 times. That's one for me. Boom!
Zing! There you go.
Everybody.
All right. I don't really know if there's anything else we can talk about. We've kind of beaten this thing into the pavement. I mean, I think this has been the last time we're ever going to even mention this game. My recommendation: just go play Warframe. It's free.
Yeah.
Just go play Warframe. It's good. I mean, I will say when I was playing it, it's not my kind of game because I am over the looter shooter thing. That it is a repetitive loop. I mean, but it was fun the time I played it.
Just to put you when I first played it, it was a launch PS4 title, which there was like nothing at launch on PS4.
Oh, it is loaded now. You can go to multiple planets.
No, I meant like
huge.
multiple games to play at launch for PS4. Warframe from the beginning of it on PS4 has been awesome, and it's fucking worth playing. There's 2 recommendations I'm going to make to you. One, absolutely, you need to go play Warframe. The game's been going on for 10 years. They have done incredible work. That studio has done light years of work, and it is one of the best examples of how you do a free-to-play game. Kind of like I talked about with Honkai Star Rail. And 2, go watch Gods of Egypt. It's one of the greatest movies ever made.
God damn it, son of a bitch. Fucking.
Can't wait.
Have fun editing this.
Have fun. You gotta watch Gods of Egypt. You guys know that there's a scene in Gods of Egypt where he takes out a giant beetle and he throws like an explosive at it. And right before he goes down the hole, he says some quippy line. Still don't know what he said. I had to turn on subtitles to kind of get it. And then he falls down a hole because someone was taking a break that day on set. I don't know if it was the grip. I don't know if it was the cameraman. I don't know if it was Nikolaj Coster-Waldau. Someone just decided to not let Nikolaj say the line clearly. And, I think that would have been that line, that quip would have been what made it win the Oscar that year. So I think that's a loss, for all of us.
What a loss to cinema. I've had it. I've had enough. That's enough for Anthem. That's it. We're done. There's no point in covering Destiny. Basically, we just said make Destiny fun. That's all I care about.
Sucks. Fuck that game.
Destiny sucks. I can't wait to hear their announcement of Destiny 3, whenever the fuck that's going to happen. Jesus Christ. Just, I don't care.
Put Destiny and Halo back together and never let me play them again.
Yeah. God. Halo used to be fun way back at the beginning, and now it just is a fucking cash grab.
The last good Halo was Halo Reach. Come at me.
I agree. And that was like over 10 years ago.
It was 10 years ago. Yep. That's a great game.
The good old days. All right. That's it. I've had enough. We're going to go watch Seth play a stream now. That's everybody. Yeah. Thank you for coming back to the Game Rescue Show. Good night.
Fuck you, Nintendo fanboys.
Fuck you.